Sandy, the 22-year-old mare, was expecting a foal, and Carla, the farm's owner, was eagerly anticipating the arrival. The farm treated its animals more like beloved pets than livestock, and Sandy was particularly cherished by Carla. The birth went smoothly, and the foal, named Ty, was healthy and lively. Carla witnessed the entire process and was relieved to see Sandy effortlessly care for her newborn. For the first week, everything seemed perfect. Sandy nurtured Ty diligently, and Carla, along with her dog Zip, often visited the barn to find them both thriving. But then, things took a turn for the worse. One morning, Carla found Sandy in distress, sweating and shivering uncontrollably despite having been in good health just the day before. Ty, frightened and bewildered, huddled in a corner, unsure of the turmoil affecting his mother. The vet was called and administered medication, but despite the treatment, Sandy's condition worsened over the next 2 days. Carla was on constant watch, supplementing Ty's speed with milk and doing everything she could to support Sandy. On the 3rd day, it became clear that Sandy's condition was beyond recovery. The painful decision was made to euthanize her, a heart-wrenching choice made even more sorrowful by the fact that Ty was so young and vulnerable. Carla and Zip moved Ty to a different stall, and Zip, who had previously shown little interest in the horses, surprisingly took a special interest in the foal, lying beside him and offering comfort. Carla was moved to tears by Zip's unexpected display of empathy. As she examined Ty, she realized that he had developed a low-grade fever. Thanks to Zip's insistence, they were able to address the illness promptly. The foal, now orphaned and sick from the same illness that had afflicted his mother, was starting to deteriorate. Carla and her team immediately began treating him, hoping he would recover where Sandy could not. Zip, grieving the recent loss of his longtime canine companion, had taken on a new role with Ty. The dog, who had never slept outside, refused to leave Ty's side even when bedtime came. Despite Carla's attempts to coax him indoors, Zip remained steadfast, showing his commitment to the ailing foal. Carla had to bring Zip's meals out to him and check on the pair throughout the night. By 4:00 a.m., exhausted but hopeful, Carla noticed signs of improvement in Ty. With the foal's condition stabilizing, she finally allowed herself a brief rest, comforted by the thought that Zip's devotion might just save Ty's life. Carla was jolted awake by an unusual noise, Zip barking urgently. Rushing outside, she was astonished to see Zip and Ty frolicking in the pasture. Ty, who was noticeably better, was playing energetically, and Zip was right there with him. This moment marked just the start of their extraordinary bond. Zip's support played a crucial role in Tay's recovery. The dog encouraged Tay to get up and play, running alongside him in the field and keeping him company during naps. Zip's dedication to Ty was heartwarming and became a source of joy for many who saw videos of their unique friendship. As Ty began to eat from a bucket, he continued to thrive, largely due to Zip's nurturing care. Carla saw how vital Zip's companionship was to Ty's well-being. Without Zip's intervention, Ty might not have survived or flourished. But this special relationship also foreshadowed future challenges. Zip was with Ty almost constantly, choosing to play in the pasture with him rather than spending time with Carla and the other farm animals. He became a guardian and best friend to the foal, stepping up in ways Carla hadn't expected. However, Zip's protective nature would soon lead to trouble. One day, as Carla and her farmhands worked nearby, they heard alarming noises from the pasture. Zip's barking was frantic and unrecognizable, filled with a mix of anger and fear. Ty, normally quiet, was also making distressing sounds. Rushing to investigate, they were met with a horrifying sight. Zip was defending Ty from an aggressive snake. The snake, menacing and unyielding, posed a serious threat. While Carla and the team were accustomed to dealing with snakes, this one was particularly aggressive and had already attacked. Zip, though seasoned, was now older and slower, struggling to balance his defensive tie with his own survival instincts. Distracted by the need to protect Tai and the approaching humans, Zip faced a tough battle. With a fierce determination, Zip lunged at the snake, biting and thrashing it away from Tai. Despite his valiant efforts, the snake remained combative. Carla and her team moved in quickly to calm Tai and deal with the injured snake. However, they found the snake too damaged to save. Turning her attention back to Zip and Tai, Carla's heart sank. Tai was nudging Zip, trying to wake him, but Zip lay unmoving. Terrified, Carla feared the worst, that Zip had sacrificed himself for Tai. As she approached, she was relieved to see Zip still breathing but gravely injured, with 2 bites on his leg. Without delay, Carla rushed Zip to the vet, placing him carefully in her car. Time was critical to prevent the venom from spreading, and she was determined to get him the help he needed. But time wasn't on their side. It seemed determined to keep Zip and Tai apart. Zip, the loyal protector, might not have understood the urgency behind their actions. His heroism, having saved Tai twice, was evident, but in that moment, the focus was solely on saving Zip. Every second mattered. One of the farmhands had to hold Tai back to allow Carla to leave without further delay. At the vet's office, Zip received immediate treatment. Luckily, the snake had bitten his leg, which, though painful, meant less venom had entered his system. The injury was serious but manageable. Carla's swift action, arriving at the vet's office minutes after the attack, gave Zip a fighting chance. The vet administered medication and began removing damaged tissue to prevent infection. Now, the focus was on recovery. Zip needed to stay calm and let the treatment take effect, while the team monitored him closely. Meanwhile, Tai was deeply affected. He refused to eat and rejected affection, showing signs of depression. His usual joy was missing. They tried to tempt him with his favorite treats, apples and carrots, but he showed no interest. His refusal to come out of his stall was heartbreaking. Tai likely believed that Carla had taken Zip away because there was no hope for him. His well-being was at risk, as he couldn't survive on water alone. They hoped Tai might see Zip soon, depending on Zip's recovery. Zip's condition was critical for the first few days. There were moments when he even stopped breathing. But gradually, the medicine began to work, and he started to regain consciousness. When he woke, he was overjoyed to see Carla and receive attention. Though his leg was still red, the wounds were showing signs of improvement. This news was a relief to everyone who cared for Zip. They wished Tai could know that his friend was recovering, but the horse remained withdrawn. Once Zip was able to stand on his own, he was restless and unhappy confined to the vet's office. Considering Tai's distress and Zip's anxiety, the vet allowed Zip to return home under strict conditions. He needed to rest and avoid putting weight on his leg. Zip's pain medication made him groggy, but this didn't stop him from making a beeline for the barn as soon as he was back on the farm. Tai's reaction was pure joy. As soon as he saw Zip, he danced around and eagerly greeted him. The reunion was emotional, with both animals expressing their happiness in their own ways. Onlookers couldn't help but tear up at the sight of their heartfelt reunion. Carla, mindful of the vet's instructions, ensured Zip spent the nights indoors, but placed his bed in the pasture during the day. Tai took on the role of comforting companion, lying beside Zip and keeping him company as he healed. Their remarkable bond had seen them through difficult times, and now, as they recovered together, their friendship proved to be a source of immense strength and comfort.